What's up, everybody? Uh, I just woke up. Nice to see you. Uh, I was on TikTok just a few minutes ago, and I was just thinking, there's a lot of respectable um, careers out there. There's things that you can do. Some are chosen. Some just kind of fall into whatever career they're doing or job. I don't have a career right now. Uh, Whatever. uh, but what about the people that also deserve respect? What about your garbage man? That's a respectable job. It's just a respectable career if you're at it for long enough. What's you know, uh, House movers. People in the service industry. You don't really think that you need them until you need them. So when the pandemic happened and everybody was angry because they went from unskilled workers to essential workers during the pandemic, I thought that was actually ironic and pretty hilarious in my eyes. I think that things that are sad but ironic are hilarious. No, I'm not laughing at the situation or the people that either choose or have to have a job in fast food or the service industry. I've worked fast food. It's not easy. Even after college and having a degree, I did work fast food. I had to feed my family. So what? Then it was an unskilled worker job. Let me tell you something. There's nothing unskilled about being someone who works fast food. You have to be able to work very quickly on your feet. You have to be able to follow half-ass instructions. You have to be able to show up at your job whenever they call you, or you don't have a job the next day. You have to be able to understand what your customer wants when they're starving to death and screaming at you. So have respect for people that work in the service industry. If you're rude to a waiter, and I'm not just talking verbally, I'm saying if you don't set your plates and your cups and your bowls in a stackable manner at the end of the table, and a very good friend of mine taught me that because he was a waiter. I've never been a waitress. Not that I'm too good for it. It's just that that's not a skill set that I got into. I'm not afraid to go out and try to do it. If my life requires it of me at that time, I will do it. If shoveling shit is something that pays, I don't care if it's $7.50 an hour, if you know, or $20 an hour. I don't care. If it feeds my family and puts food on the table, I'm gonna freaking do it because it's respectable and it's honest. Um, I forgot my point. I get worked up on these things because people who work in the service industry don't feel sorry for them. Don't. Because God gives us certain jobs throughout our lives. If you don't have a career, that's okay. I consider myself a wanderer, and I've had many different kinds of jobs, and I'm actually pretty happy about that because I've learned a lot of things. I've learned a lot about myself and what I'm capable of. And I've also learned about how to deal with different kinds of people. The best job that I think that I've ever had to do and learning in the service industry was working hotel front desk. I worked hotel front desk for 2 years, not only as a clerk, but also as a member of the management team. I was a supervisor for a while, and let me tell you something. You not only learn. That was the first time I'd ever been in charge of someone other than my children. And that's a different experience because those are adults. Those are grown people that can make logical decisions on their own and choose not to because of whatever reason. So it takes teaching your workers how to deal with those situations and being available to them when they need someone to talk to. Because when clerks first get on the floor, especially female clerks, young female clerks, and I can relate to this, because when I first got on the floor and I had a guest yell at me because I didn't give them exactly what they wanted, and they're paying me and blah, 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 like I'm taking out of their paycheck, whatever. You know, kindness goes a long way when someone is serving you. Yes, you're going to get what you want, but if you're an asshole, let me give you a little tip about the hotel industry. The hospitality industry, rather, is what it's called. If you go to your hotel and they don't have your room ready and they don't have what you wanted exactly, there's a lot of reasons for that. Okay? That's more than likely out of their control. And that clerk you're standing in front of, you have two choices as an individual. He or she understands that you're tired. You've had a long trip. You want to just get up to your room and relax or go do something else. My hotel was attached to a casino. Maybe you want to go gamble. Whatever you plan on doing in my playground, do not be an asshole to me, because I can make your life worse. I can deny your request without telling you, agreeing with you. Oh, thank you. Yes, I understand. I will do what I can for you. I can get my supervisor if I'm a clerk, which, let me tell you something. When I was a supervisor, I enjoyed the assholes. I didn't think I would as a clerk. But once I got my confidence up, I loved coming out and dealing with an asshole. One of my hotel stories, and this is one of my favorites, I was a supervisor at this time, and one of my clerks came to me. She was new. She had only been on the floor maybe a couple of days or a couple of weeks. Anyway, she was green. She was wet behind the ears, okay? That is not her fault. I had this couple wanted to buy a hotel room. Okay, we had them available. It was a good night to buy a hotel room. Great. Excellent. We want your money. We want to serve you. All right? And the company I worked for, which is the Choctaw Nation of Oklahoma, prides itself in servant leadership. And let me tell you something. ICBE is a Choctaw word that means to build. Okay? And customer service with the Choctaw Nation is no joke. If you don't serve your customer properly, you get in trouble. Choctaw Nation takes customer service extremely well. Because it's not just the part of the job, it's who we are as a nation. Okay, I am Choctaw, if you're new here. I am Choctaw. It's not just that I'm a card carrier. I also, I have blood within me, physically, that is from the Choctaw Nation. That is Choctaw. All right, enough of that. The point is, the girl came to me, and she said, Carla, and she was in tears. She was upset. She said, Carla, this lady is being so rude to me. I really don't know what to do. I love you. Thank you. Okay, so I gathered myself. I tried to contain my excitement. So I walked out on the floor, and I gave this lady my best at the time, even though I was extremely irritated because this clerk she was a sweet girl. Sweet, so sweet. So I walk out there on the floor, and the lady has, now a little back with the policy at the time. Now, this changes, so don't go to Choctaw Nation where I worked and say, all right, I heard blah, blah, blah. No, this is a long time ago. Rates and deposits and things like that change. It can change. The rates change daily. Okay, so don't get that nailed in your head. Anyways, I walk out on the floor. I talk to after I talk to my clerk, I walk out on the floor. I talk to the lady who is actually paying, and she has all $1 bills. Okay. Well, if you've ever worked with money before, and especially in a casino, we have to mark or put a light on these dollars. I don't care if it's a quarter. We have to verify that what you're giving us is actually the money that we take. You'd think that's a joke, but if you've ever worked with money, you understand that people can be really freaking shady, and that's sad. But this lady had $200 or $300 in $1 bills. Okay, so I was just gonna. I grabbed my pen out of my pen out of my pocket that marks the money that to see if it's real. All right, and I start helping my clerk. I was like, okay, yes, ma'am, we're gonna help you. We're gonna get you into a room. Okay, the lady starts getting pissy with me. Now, I could already tell that the lady had an entitled attitude. Okay, okay, I can deal with that. Entitlement, when you're working in hospitality, they shake hands. It's just something you deal with. Okay, so this lady, she starts getting pissy with me, and her old man also starts getting pissy with me. I said, yes, ma'am, we have to mark all of these bills. We have to verify that they are $1. Oh, they are. They are. Just give me my room. Just give me my room. Yes, ma'am, I understand that, but we have to take time to mark these $1 bills for you. And she just got more and more irate. Now, I did save the room for her. I could have just outright denied her a room and just said, no, I'm sorry, we can't do this today. We're sold out. Okay, I could have done that. But no, I wanted to prove a point. You don't walk up to someone's counter and be an asshole. So I decided to kindly also be an asshole in the kindest, most southern customer service way possible. So I gathered up all of her money, counted and uncounted, marked and unmarked together, and we have a money changer in the back of the building. It's a big building. She would have to walk very far. So I gathered up all the money. She didn't have a debit card to speak of to put on file, so we was taking her cash. And I gathered up all her money, and I handed it to her, and I said, we will save your room, we'll save your reservation until X time, because there's times that they just don't come back, and that was kind of what I was betting on, because I wanted somebody that actually deserved the room to have it. But no, I was giving her grace. We can do that too. So anyways, I gathered up the money. I said, we have a changer, a cashier in the back of the building. You're more than welcome to go walk back there, get large bills for us, change it out, and come back and give us large bills, and we'll be able to serve you much better. And because she was irritated at me at that point, she goes, I just can't believe you. You. And her very wise, whatever he was, boyfriend, friend, husband, whatever, he pats her on the shoulder and says, come on, let's go get this money changed out. I want to go up to the room. Okay. I didn't say anything else to her, and I wasn't going to argue with her. I was just standing there smiling, waiting for her to walk away. And you know what? She came back with large bills that we could control, and we could get her reservation done quickly. And she did get checked into a room. But her whole attitude, even though she was pissed off at me still, that she had the inconvenience of having to go get large bills because she was inconveniencing my clerk. She was a little bit nicer because she did get into her room and she did have a pleasant stay. So think about that. Next time you're at a restaurant and your food isn't exactly the way you want it, you're tired. You go to a oil changing place or a mechanic shop and things aren't exactly the way you want it. Okay, there's a way to go about that. All right? Just keep in mind that whatever job you choose, God has put you in charge of that job. I don't care if you're cleaning shit. I get upset and start watching. I need to watch my language. I'm sorry. That is a weakness of mine. That is a fault of mine. And if you can show me grace, I will also show you grace. Anyways, so the point is, God puts us in charge. We are a steward of whatever job that He puts us in charge of, whether it is in charge of other people, whether you're just cleaning golf balls out of a pond. I don't care what it is. That job is important to God. And we're to carry ourselves with honesty and with integrity and to be kind to others. Because at some point, you're going to have to interact with other people. And be kind to yourself. You know, psychology teaches us all the time to put up boundaries. Okay? God does that for us by teaching us His ways. So we don't have to guess at what our boundaries are. All right. You have a blessed day. Have a great. Today is Sunday for me. Like, subscribe, share. Like and subscribe and share. I'll get that in there. I don't. Anyways, I care about you, and have a great day.